recording, so you could share it with anybody else at your facility, let them know how they can start using it, because Colin's going to walk you through and really show you the ins and outs of everything that ScanToPCC can do. But
Okay.
real quick, ScanToPCC was built by a medical records team to solve several of the pain points in the day-to-day operations of getting documents uploaded into PCC, and also offering some really great features that should save a lot of time. Across the board, we're seeing about 75 to 80% time savings when using it. So we're really excited. It's been really successful so far. So we love working with clinical teams. They are who built this and continue to make it better. He probably has some great stories when he shows you things. He'll say, this is a recommendation from someone in MedRec. And so we love feedback and hearing what you have to say. So feel free to unmute yourself at any moment. Let us know your thoughts, give us your feedback. Sometimes in the calls, people will be like, oh my gosh. So we love the excitement. It's a super interactive demo, so feel free to unmute at any time. Go ahead, Colin. He's going to share his screen with you. And then while he goes through, feel free to interrupt him. We really want you to hang up and know exactly what ScanToPCC does and if it will benefit you at your facility. So have him pause, have him go a little deeper, ask a question, and he'd be happy to dig deeper for you with that, whatever you need.
Okay, great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. As Kim mentioned, I'm just getting over a little cold, so my voice is a little funny. If I pause for a second, I'll probably just cough a little bit, but I'm feeling good. I just don't sound like I feel. So yeah, as Kim mentioned, this app was built just with the whole process of getting documents from either, printed document, an email, a fax, whatever, into PCC a lot faster. I'm assuming you guys are putting documents into PCC today. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have a scanner on my desk.
Okay. And does that process look like if I have a piece of paper in my hand, I scan it usually to my email or directly to my computer, something like that. I save that file. Sometimes I'll rename it. Then I'll go into point click care. I'll find that resident, click the miscellaneous document tab, click upload, touch the file, and then categorize it by description, category, effective date, and then submit it and kind of a rinse and repeat for each file.
I kind of simplify it a little bit more than that. I just pull up the patient and I do it individually unless there's multiple for that patient that are different forms, and I'll just name the form and then I'll put it in there under the documents.
Okay. Yeah. So our system, what it does is it gets rid of a lot of the process and it simplifies that. So, at a real high level, what we do is we get a document into the app, whether it's from any scanner. So we can set it up to work with any desktop scanner, copier, printer that scans, anything that scans, we can set it up to work with our app. You can drag and drop PDFs as well. So if you have a PDF, you can just drag and drop it in here. It also works with eFax. Now, are you guys using eFax today?
No.
Okay. So we don't sell eFax numbers. We're a little bit different in that we want you to pick another, any vendor that you want to use for your eFax. There's a lot of great ones. We'll give you some great recommendations. But, for me, when we were putting this together years ago, we were using another system for our eFax. And when I wanted to change vendors, they told me I couldn't take that number with me. And so it was just really a thing, you probably have this experience. If you ever have to change your fax, trying to tell a hospital or referral source that new number, it takes them like years to remember. And so it's just a big pain. So what we do is a little different. We'll help you get an eFax number from whatever carrier you want. Again, we can give recommendations, but then we can set it up so you can send and receive faxes from within the app. And it's a totally free option. We don't charge for any of that, but it helps put all of your documents in one place, whether it's a scan, a drag and drop file, or even an eFax. And that allows you to fax in and out of our app. Couple things about the app. It is web-based. And so what that means is really, you don't have to install anything for this to work. It is locked down to your facility address. So if you're trying it from home, it's not going to work. We do have remote access if you need it. Obviously, it's very, very similar to point click care. In fact, we modeled it exactly after them, in that you can get remote access if you need it. It's also connected to point click care. So what that means is when you admit a new resident into your building, they're going to automatically flow into here. Maybe you make changes, to a couple category types, or you add a new one, it's going to automatically flow into here. You don't have to update the system at all. So it's really nice. The only thing you have to do is get a document into it and then tell it really quickly where to go. So it saves a lot of steps in there. Let me go in here real fast. So as we talked about, you're probably scanning today. Is it desktop scanner or is it like a copier that you use?
It's a desktop scanner.
Okay. So a lot of times, and everyone, desktop scanners are a little different from here to there, but a lot of times they'll have little shortcuts on it where you can click it and it'll either send it to your email or send it to your desktop. Sometimes you have to open a program first and then you hit the button and it grabs the documents from there. Either way, we can help set that thing up. So instead of it coming to your desk, that's very similar process. Instead of it coming to your desktop, it would go directly into our app. And then once that is in here, whether it's an eFax, a drag and drop document, or anything from any scanner, copier, all of that, it'll show up in here and it'll tell you in this column where it came from. Like this is an eFax. These ones that say manual upload are drag and drop. So I have 5 PDFs on my mouse is holding, and if I let them go, I'm going to upload 5 PDFs there real fast. And then they'll show up in here. That's your manual upload. And then if I do scan stuff, it'll say like medical records copier or desktop scanner, whatever you label that device when we install it. We help you with all the installs. It's a free thing. There's no setup fee for it. And what's really nice about it is you can set up as many devices as you want. So when I was in med rec, I used it in my, just at my copier at first. And then we started rolling it out to the rest of the building. So I had like the nurse station, they had a copier there and they would scan stuff. I wouldn't let them do the uploading part, but I would have them scan documents. Or the other reason I did that is because my copier would always break. So I don't know about yours. Yours might be pretty good, but mine was not that great. So it was really nice to have a couple I could choose from if mine broke. And again, it's a flat rate fee. So what's really nice is you can put it on as many devices as you want. Now, once I have that document in here, I simply click the document. And this is the document I scanned. This is a preview window of it. This is a very simple one pager. You can see its color. We don't change the document at all. It's going to stay the same here. You can zoom in and rotate and do all that stuff that you need to. But as you know, there's 4 things you have to know when you're putting a document in PCC, right? You obviously have to know which resident chart. The other 3 would be the effective date, which category, and then the description for that document. And you do that for each document as you pass them through. And those 4 things are over here to the right. So this right here is the effective date. By default, we will always pick today's date. You could change it if you want. So I just changed it to yesterday. This next one here is my resident. It is last name, comma, first name. That D is for discharge. You will have an A there for active. If you're using the waiting list, you'll have an N status for new. And then that last number is my resident ID. And again, since we pull these from PCC, what's really nice is you don't have to add them in here. So it'll come in here automatically. Within about a minute of you doing that admission in PCC or whoever does it, it flows right into here. So it'll be in sync with your PCC at all times. What I love about these drop-down menus is they're searchable. And so what I can do is I can type, like I just search the first name for Jack and it'll search through all of them and find me all the Jacks. Or I could put an ID in there really quickly and it's going to find that as well. And that works here for this next one. And this next one is my categories. So when you're in PCC, everything you have under miscellaneous documents, all those categories that you've either created or the default ones that PCC's created, whichever you're using, that's what this list is going to fill up with. So this list is a little bit longer than my residents because I have only a couple in my fake building here. Let's say this is a progress note. I just start typing prog and there it is. And then this last one here is the description. In PCC, it's just a blank field that you type something. And you can turn this feature on or off in our app. I like having it on. And what it does is where I pick my category, it puts that in as the description. And then I can just add to it if I want to. So What's really nice about it is if you start changing your categories, like as an example, like I used to have one discharge documents category. Then I started making them a little bit more specific, and now I didn't have to type AMA. It does it automatically for me. And then when you're in PCC, it's really nice because all the categories when you're looking at are kind of over here a little bit. You can see the category and the description in the file name there. Now, again, that's something you could turn on or off. You could just type it in just like you do now in PCC as well. And then all I do is hit one of these two green buttons. Upload in homepage will upload this document to PCC and return me to the homepage. Upload in next will upload this document to PCC and then load up the next document. So I'm going to do upload in homepage. I'll show you the upload in next in a minute, but that's all I do. That document just got queued up to go to PCC. That will be in the chart within about 30 seconds. So we batch process all of our documents. They'll be in that chart within about 30 seconds at most. Let me show you kind of real time what that looks like. So I'm going to click a document. I'm going to pick my resident, Julian Holmes. I'm going to pick my category. If I want to add something, I can. And then I'm going to do upload and next. Now it just uploaded that document there and it loads up the next one. Here's that next one. I'm going to pick Julian Holmes, right? And I'm just going through all my documents that I've scanned there one at a time really quickly. So it's a pretty fast system. You see how quick I'm going through these? Like I've done 3 already in the time it usually takes to do at least 1 in PCC. And I can just keep going through my whole list until that dashboard is gone. Once I pick a resident, they fall off this list here. So ideally this would be empty or as close to empty as possible. And then all my documents would pass through. Is that making sense so far?
Yes.
Okay, great. I want to show you a couple of the features that I really loved when I was in MedRec. So I did show you really simply how you send one document to one resident. Where it really saves a ton of time, I mean, that was super fast, but this will save even more. So here's a 12-page document. Let's say maybe I just scanned all 12 pages at once, or a lot of times like I would get a fax in from a doctor's office and it would be documents that I have to separate out. Maybe it's progress notes for 2 or 3 residents. Could be a couple things. Well, without this, I go into my Adobe or whatever, and I separate out that PDF and I make individual PDFs and then I upload those individually. But inside here, this is a 12-pager. I can click this picture of the scissor tool. And when I do, this window pops up and I can see the document, right? I'm scrolling through the pages. I go up here, I pick Karina Bailey as the resident, ancillary, and I'll say pages 1 through 4 go there. I could pick the same resident. Maybe this is all for the same resident, but I want to separate it into different categories. So I'll do 5 through 8. And then maybe on, you know what, at page 9, it actually switches to a different resident. So all of that to say, I can put whatever I want in here, and I can split this into as many pieces as I need. So what I'm doing is I'm taking one scan or one PDF, and then in here, I'm breaking it into multiple sections, in this case, 4. And then I'll hit split PDF. And that just split into 4 pieces and is sending 4 documents into the chart in PCC. So that scissor tool is really nice to be able to split either a scan that you put together, a fax that came in that you need to split up, or anything really that you want to split into multiple categories. There's no limits to that thing. You can split it up into whatever you want. So you might send, 10 documents to one resident, 10 to another. Maybe it's the same resident, but a different category. It could be the same resident and the same category. Maybe you just wanted them separate in the chart. So whatever you put in there, it will do for you. And then also, I'm sure this has happened to you, but there is a maximum file size, right, that you can upload to PCC. So a lot of times, let's say you're trying to upload a larger file, maybe it's a 25 megabyte PDF into Point Click Care. And when you pick your resident and your category and you do a little thing and then you hit upload, it tells you, hey, I'm sorry, but your file's too large. You have to then go out of the system, take that PDF, either try and shrink it by like lowering the quality or make a couple separate PDFs out of it and then upload those individually. But what our system will do is it doesn't really care how big your file is. So let's say in this example, this file is 32 megabytes and my maximum is 20. So really I would have to split that in 2 pieces. But when I hit this green button, it'll just accept that file. You won't even know there's a problem. And when it gets into the chart, it will look something like this. Part 1 of 2 and 2 of 2 automatically will be separated out, and those 2 documents will be pushed into the chart. Now, there's no maximum for that. People will always ask me. There is none. I see 500 megabyte PDFs come in all the time. Like every day, there's giant PDFs that come in where people are scanning entire charts or just backlog documents. And our system will take that, separate it out, and do as many sections as it needs. So between the scissor tool and that file sizer, you never have to worry about manipulating a PDF outside of our program anymore, right? You can cut it up, you can shrink it, you can do all of those things within the app and not having to do it manually because it'll do it for you. I'm going to talk about your eFax real fast. Again, we don't sell eFax numbers. We will help you get one if you don't have one. eFax there's some really great companies out there. They're probably about $15 a month now, kind of on average, somewhere around there. But what's nice about it is I can connect this up so that I can send and receive faxes directly from here. So I'm going to go back to my homepage real fast. You'll see here I have 2 faxes that came in. Here's one, and here's another. So when they come in, they come directly into the app. I don't have to scan them at all. This came from Dr. Kim. I can go down, I can see that. I go, oh, you know what? That's for Karina Bailey, and that's her here we go. Upload in homepage. Now that fax is on its way into the chart, and I never had to upload it or do anything with it. So that eFax is a really nice feature. Again, we don't charge for that either, so it's really nice to not have to have that. Let me show you how you send, which I loved, because there'd be so many times I was sitting at my desk and a doctor would come by, put some notes on my desk, ask me to upload it to the chart, which yes, I'm happy to do it. Then they'd say, hey, can you fax that to my office so that I have a copy because they got to put it in their, Cerner or whatever they're using, Epic, for their hospital systems as well. And from here, you can do all of that. So up at the top here, I have eFax. That top number there is my number. I'm going to just fax it to myself. And in your version, you will have an address book right here, so you could save numbers. In our demo one, we just don't have that in there. But I can add a cover page. You can save as many as you want. So we're going to Dr. Smith, notes. Here are those notes you wanted. We also have an email notification in here. So this will tell you if there's an error with the fax, if it went through. I like to do all statuses, meaning I want an email either way because I want to know that fax went through. And then I can either send eFax and delete the document or send eFax and send a PCC because I want to put it in the chart. So I'll hit that. Now it just queued up that fax to go out. And then I pick my resident and my category and I hit upload in homepage and that document is on its way into the chart as well. So all in about 10 seconds, I was able to send a fax out and push that same document into the chart PCC. Now, you are going to get an email when that fax goes through or if there's a problem, but you can always go up here, the top where it says eFax, and this will show you the status of all your faxes. This is that one we just sent. It's getting processed now, and it'll go out in the next minute or so. So you can always look in here as well. I'm going to kind of move around up at the top here. This is a feature I really loved. This is the log of everything you've ever scanned. So what we do is every time you upload a document and send it to PCC, we're going to keep a log of that forever. So you can see in here, I still have stuff from 2023, but this keeps a log of every document that I uploaded. So by date, this is today, I can see everything in here, which chart it went into, which resident, which category, even which employee uploaded it. So in the instance where maybe I accidentally picked the wrong resident or the wrong category and I need to fix it, this will tell you right where that document is. Before this, when I was in the building, we kept this in Excel, so I had to type this in Excel all the time. So having this automated was definitely a nice thing. And honestly, I think most people don't even keep a log anymore. So this is an automatic log for you as well. It just keeps everything in there. And we never delete a transaction. It'll stay in there. Over here under settings, this is just your generic settings. I won't go through them all. There's pretty simple stuff. You click users, you can add a user. If I click password, I'm going to change a password. But one thing I do like to cover is this training videos. Inside of here, these are all videos we've created to help show you how to use the system. So let's say you're using it and maybe you hire an assistant, or what happens a lot in my building and in a lot with our customers too. I'm using it and admissions hears about this where they're like, hey, I upload a lot of documents too, where all my admission agreements and consents and all. Can I use that? Well, definitely. And you can create a user for them. They can watch some great training videos in here. They can get up to speed, or they can click this schedule free training button. And what this does is this takes you to a calendar where you go in here, you pick training, It looks like Monday morning at 9:30 is the first training you can get, and it's 100% free. So it's always free to get training if you ever need it. Under support, we are Pacific time zone, so 8 to 5 Pacific time zone. If you need anything, you can go in here, put a ticket in, and get some help. Our entire team here has worked in nursing homes. That's all we do is nursing homes or post-acute, let's say. So they're very familiar with all of the stuff that's unique to our industry. You don't have to worry about having to explain things to them. They're a great team, more clinical than technical, but very strong technical. So it makes it really fun. When you have a question, you can ask them and they will know exactly what you're saying. And then, oh, so that fax we sent came through. So here's my fax that I went through. And so I would have that in here. I can go in here, I can click it. I can see the fax. This is from Dr. Smith, right? I can scroll down. There's the actual fax. Jennifer L, right? I pick there you go. And that document is on its way to the chart in PCC. So that eFax integration is a really, really cool one. And then lastly, I want to show you this part that's coming. But we here up at the top, we have a point click care tab. We have an eFax tab, and we also have an HRIS tab. What's really nice about the HRIS tab, we're building this out. We built it out. We're testing it now, and we'll put some final, fixes in there. But just like you're scanning to PCC today, we have it set up so you can scan into your payroll system. So in my building when I was there, just like I had a lot of documents on my desk before this app because I was always buried. There was so much paper in there. So was payroll. And payroll was trying to push documents into the Kronos system that we used. And so we added this ability for them to do that as well. So today it's in Kronos, ADP, and UKG. So you could, if you're using one of those three, have your payroll person come in and use this to push documents into the employee files, like nurse certifications for your nurses, onboard documentation, any of those things that would be on their desk or in a paper folder or file for an employee. And there's no fee for that whatsoever. So that'll be coming out around January. I just like to show it just so you can see what the HRIS tab is. And when that comes out, Kim will give you more information on it. Now, I did that kind of quick, but how does that look to you? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a lot easier than the way I'm doing it now.
Isn't it nice? I know. It really makes it nice. And I can tell you just from I was sitting right where you are, and it was a game changer for me. And I'll tell you, you get really fast at it too, which is fun. You can go in here and just that document just went in the chart. That's it. So it's really, really nice. Plus, a couple other things that I did, I had a setup at my nurse stations. They were scanning stuff for me. When I kind of towards the end of my tenure in the facility, most people were scanning the documents. I wasn't scanning a whole lot. I had a lot of help in there. Now, you can't do that at every building, but it definitely helps if you have a receptionist who can help scan or the nurses do it. And then you just maybe some of them I gave access to the app, some I didn't because I didn't want them uploading because they don't do it as well. And I want to make sure this thing's right. So you can pick and choose. It's a really nice way to do it. So it is definitely a much, much faster system.
Well, great. I'm excited to hear that it could help you a lot, Carrie. It's super simple to get set up. It sounds like corporate just wants someone from your facility to reach out to them and say, hey, we'd like to get scanned to PCC. And then we do not disrupt your day-to-day operation anyway. We don't need access to your computer. Someone from your IT team in the background just drops a shortcut onto any device that you choose. And then I connect with you and say, hey, go ahead, jump on your site, log in, and that's it. So it's very quick and easy to start using it.
So I put in our
Okay.
thing, I put in our photo number, our in-house. Again.
I think you got muted.
Affiliated. 3 were a repeat for the same month, and then
Is there a certain person that I need to reach out to?
so then we had 8 antifungal. So again, we had that, and then we had 3 antibiotics. Started with
I
virology.
think we're just hearing the background there. Your question was, is there someone you need to reach out to? Was that for us?
we did. and
Yes.
It was,
Okay, yeah, let me check my account and I'll see if we have a name over there. And I could email it over to you, just let you know who to connect with. Because I saw a note before I called Avamere, just call corporate and they'll do it. So I'll get that name for you. And so you can get started on it.
so
That sounds great.
for you.
Okay, I'm gonna send you
I would
an
get with
email
Jonathan
right
and
now,
get this-
Carrie. It's gonna have the video recording of this, so feel free to share it with anybody else from your team. And then I will include that name and just give you the next step saying, hey, just reach out to this person and request it. And just give us a heads up so then we know we could get your site set up for you and get you going.
Sounds good. I'm ready.
All right, great, Carrie. Well, we are so excited we got to connect with you and that we get to partner with you, and we will see you soon then.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
have a
you.
wonderful weekend.
You too.
Bye.